Hey, good evening. Come and join us. Welcome to this episode of Tetrakey TV, episode number 121. Tonight is about the ultimate motivation, the ultimate reason why, the thing that if you do not pay attention to, frankly, you'll just be full of regrets. You'll end up with maybe in that hospital bed with it going beep, beep, thinking, I wish I had. Because, you know, if you want to get motivated, here's our message tonight. You're gonna die. So you're gonna die one day. Life is a terminal illness. Isn't that a pleasant thought? Now, I'd like to say that I came up with this, but I'd be lying through my teeth because it's Mark's idea. He planted the seed in my head. So Mark, what is it that you've been playing with people over the past 24 hours with our clients?
Playing being the operative word. I did an exercise, so you can do this now. So get your phone out, get a calculator out, and I'm going to use 80 as the average life expectancy in the developed world. So you're going to do 80, and then you're going to minus your age. And then you're going to get a number, and you're going to times that number by 365, which is obviously the number of days in a year.
So you did that with me earlier.
I did,
and I've got 39 years left to live, or just over 39 years left to live. 14,220-ish days of my life left.
Till you're going to die.
Till I'm going to die.
So I think when you give that number to people, you suddenly I was fascinated when I did this. So I was 15 sales managers in the room, and they all did this, and then it was just a shock to look at those actual how few days you have left. So the next question I then asked them was, what's the one thing you do not want to regret on your deathbed? And they wrote down what is the one thing, and then they start realising, holy crap, I've only got X amount of days to ensure that I fulfil that desire of mine, that belief of mine, that goal of mine, whatever it is.
And so here's another thought for you that Mark asked me earlier. He said, Rob, how old's your dad? Sorry, Dad, when you're probably seeing this. And my dad has got, he's 69, so
11 years.
11 years. And then Mark said to me, and you value your dad, right? I'm like, yeah, he's one of my top 10 most important people in my world. He's there. So then how many days a year did you get to spend with your dad? And I said 10. He said that means in the rest of your life you have 110 days left to spend with your dad. And see, we all think we've got time for everything. We've got time. Time's in our favour. We've got years. Retirement is X amount of years away. When you start chunking it back in terms of the absolute most I've got is 110, unless I do something significantly different, 110 12-hour days left with my dad, if I'm lucky.
If you're lucky.
And then you start thinking about, well, how am I going to make the most of that?
Yeah, you can. So we're sort of giving you a heads up to something we'll be launching in the next month or so, which is quite exciting, which we're going to help you understand what this means to you. We're going to help you. We're going to create reports that you can actually look at, and you can hopefully, eventually you'll create something you can move around to change and see the alignment or misalignment between what you wish for and what you're currently tracking towards. But it's interesting, and it's something we've talked about on numerous occasions on these Facebook Lives. It's around what are you actually working towards and what are you pursuing, because it's very easy to be spending your time pursuing something but missing out on all the opportunities that happen on a day-to-day basis. And you can wake up and go, cool, I've hit my goal of earning $1 million, but on the way it's taken me 5 years and I've got no idea what I've done with those 5 years. Now 5 times 365 is over 1,800 days, give or take.
So if I was to earn $10 million in the next 5 years, I'd probably reduce the quantity of days I get to spend with my dad for the rest of my days down to 50, 55.
And you might reduce your life expectancy.
I might reduce my life expectancy as well. But I suppose the question is that a sacrifice that I'm willing to make? Because with this concept of time, everything is a sacrifice, A for B. There is only a boxed finite amount of time. You can't buy more.
Yeah.
And so sitting really, really comfortably with how you use that time, you think you might want to earn X amount this year. There's only 5 paychecks left in this year. So if you haven't done 56
paychecks.
July, August, September, okay, 6 paychecks left of this year. If you haven't done 50% of it yet, you're going to have to do something significantly different to impact those next 6 paychecks.
Yeah. So it's and again, we're not judging, we're not saying how, we're just ensuring that you have the opportunity to pause for a second and really identify what's important in your life today. I understand the value of goals, and I have personal goals. But my goals are purely a moral compass that I follow. They're not something that... and my issue with people who are so fixated by goals is the blinkers that go up around everything else in their lives that they take them away from what they could be achieving on a day-to-day basis.
I think that's often because people's goals aren't... A good goal encompasses 360 degrees of life. So it can cover everything: health, wealth, family, friendships, learning, fitness, whatever else. And I think quite often people just have a business goal and they then choose to ignore the rest of life. And so they put the blinkers on and then everything else suffers as a consequence because of that one thing. And so for me, it's about having a goal that's through 360 degrees around everything you value, and understanding the impact of A to B.
Yeah, so one of the... I'll do a Facebook Live somewhere in Europe over the next couple of weeks, and one thing I'm playing with is the concept of constantly pursuing something that you don't have. Constantly remind yourself that you don't have it. So how does what could be perceived as a positive outcome or output actually drives a negative experience? So, but anyway, we'll play with that one because there's a second part to that which we'll talk about. But again, so let's say while Rob likes to talk about you're going to die, I think we are. I think it's an interesting thing about we talk about terminal illnesses. Well, we're all terminal.
Life is a terminal illness in and of itself.
Yeah, it's terminal.
Here's the thing: life is a terminal illness in and of itself. We're all going to die at some point in time. But the statistical odds of you being a human being living where you're living now on planet Earth is 1 in 400 billion. That's the statistical odd. So the likelihood of you being given the opportunity to be a human being doing what you're doing now is sort of beyond anything you'd ever bet against. So we're amazingly fortunate to be here, and I don't think we realise it. I think we take it for granted. And, atomically speaking, if you go and look at biological odds, you could have been in Newt. I mean, and they die at some point in time as well. So we're amazingly blessed to have life. We're amazingly blessed to have a long life. 80 years is by all mammals even, is probably one of the longest living mammals. I think an elephant may live longer, but I don't think there's many mammals that live any longer than that. And do we really value the opportunity that we've been given to make a difference? And if we value it, are we doing something with that value? Are we creating a difference for ourselves and the world about us with the time that we've got left?
Yeah, so what choices have you made today that's ensured that you've lived today to its fullest? Because wherever you are in the world, so I have 15,330, sorry, I did. I've now got 15,329.
Days left.
Days left. It's 10 to 9 at night. So am I looking back today and going, okay, I've just lost another day. I've got 52.5% of my life ahead of me. Have I used today to the best of my ability because that day is gone? I'm now at 52.6% or 4% of my life left. So, and having got up at 5:30, driven through the bush in Africa to then fly to Joburg, I think I've got enough out today.
Yeah, squeezed enough out today. So it's all about knowing what it is you value in life the most, and about ensuring that your usage of time is effective enough to get those values in that if you have 10 values hierarchied, like 1 being the most important, well, surely most of your time in your next remaining 52 point whatever it is % of your life should be focusing on using that time towards the positive gain for that highest priority.
Yep. So for me, my parting ending comment is ensure that you align your choices to the values and the things that you want to spend the most time doing, knowing that you're going to die.
You're going to die. That's it. Life's a terminal illness. The greatest motivation is it stops, so use it the most you can before.
So you're going to offend your dad now?
Hey, yeah, I'm going to say sorry for telling everybody his age on Facebook. Right, so that's it from us this evening. Make some good choices tomorrow. Maybe you can have a think about now how it is you're going to use your tomorrow to get the most out of it, and leave us a comment.
Perfect.
We'd love to hear them and read them and get to know what's most important in your life going forward. So thank you for this, episode number 121, and hopefully you'll hear from Mark in Italy or the UK or Dubai over the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
See you later. Bye.